Yo, what is up YouTube? And today we're looking at the new limited character coming to the game. And this character might seem familiar because she is on the artwork for Wind Rider, and that is going to be Renok, the Earth Thief. Now I really like her animations, and I'm a big fan of her actually holding the Wind Rider dagger artifact, which is pretty cool. And if we actually look at her stats here, you're going to see that she's a very fast and very high attack thief here, 129 base speed, which is the highest in the game. I think it's tied with K-Ron and Ran, I believe. And you're going to see that she is going to be a very interesting character that is basically one of a kind so far in Epic 7. And that's going to be mostly because of her S2 and also her S3, which we'll talk about. But her S2 is a single target attack that dispels all buffs. Also will decrease decrease combat readiness by 40% when you skill enhance it to +4. And you'll also inflict Pilfer. Now Pilfer is a unique debuff. It will be unaffected by effect resist and always lands even if the enemy dodges or evades. And this will decrease attack, health, and defense by 20%, and will also grant spoils to the attacker. So basically, this is going to be a way to cripple an enemy. You pretty much reduce all of the important stats for them and make them do less damage and squishier. And also you'll see that this will give her attack buff and an extra turn. So spoils is another unique effect. Basically, when you use this ability, you're not only inflicting Pilfer to decrease their attack, health, and defense, but you also get spoils. And spoils is going to give Renok a health, attack, and defense buff by 20%, and this can stack up to 4 times because basically 4 enemies on the enemy side, you can Pilfer 4 of them, and you can get this stacking spoils buff. However, when she does die, Pilfer does disappear from all the enemies, so if you do have her go down, your crippling Pilfer debuff, your very strong attack, health, and defense decrease debuff will go away. But this looks like a pretty unique ability because you want her to last as long as she can on the field, because she's crippling the enemy every time she gets her S2 off, and she's also getting this stacking health and defense, which is going to be very annoying to deal with, and the attack will definitely be annoying as well because she'll do pretty hefty damage, right? You can also soul burn this for 20 souls to ignore effect resistance, which is mostly going to be for that decreased combat readiness. So not the most important soul burn to use it on, but it is an option if you're trying to secure that you're going to push back an enemy, which is going to be very effective. So this is the animation. You're going to see that it doesn't do that much damage. You're just getting that attack buff, putting Pilfer on the enemy, getting an extra turn, and also giving yourself spoils, right? Next we have her S3, which you can use right after S2ing with an attack buff. This is a very interesting ability, and by the name of it, Clumsy Finish, you'll see why. Single target attack that will penetrate defense but cannot crit, and this damage will scale with her speed. The damage on this isn't that high until you get a lot of attack ramping from your spoils, but you'll see that after you attack with it, you will trigger a security sensor by mistake, which will then dispel all buffs from herself. So yes, dispels buffs from herself, and also inflicting stun for 1 turn. And this isn't going to be a stun on the enemy, you're going to see that it's a stun on herself, and this will also inflict 7,000 fixed damage on all enemies, and this ignores effect resistance, so you cannot resist the stun here. So if you're thinking, oh, you just build her on effect resist to resist the stun, nope. You're going to get stunned no matter what, and also get your buffs stripped off to you, which is very interesting. It's like one of the only S3s that has like a negative effect like this besides like health sapping ones. And you're gonna see that, yes, the animation looks pretty funny. She's going for an attack, but yeah, she hits the security sensor and she gets stunned from it, loses all her buffs, and she does a ton of AoE fixed damage. And this will be very good because AoE fixed damage is no joke, and because of this, ML Arunka will probably get way more stocks as well. But this looks like a pretty interesting ability, and you're gonna see that it doesn't matter too much when we look at her artifact that she's gonna come with, right? But next we have her S1, single target attack, will also penetrate defense but cannot trigger a crit, and damage scales with your speed. So basically you're gonna build her on full speed. You're also gonna probably build her on a lot of bulk because you just want to get your S2 off as much as you can. And by doing this, you are making the enemy team squishier for your team, doing less damage, and also Renok is getting a lot more tankier, which will make her a lot harder to kill. And that's also very good because you can cycle quickly to do your S3. And even though you're stunning yourself, it doesn't matter because you're doing a ton of AoE fixed damage. Even though it doesn't seem like a lot, keep in mind that she is very fast, so she'll cycle through this very quickly. And actually, honestly, that does a lot of damage. It's just one shot, so it does a lot of damage. You're going to cycle very quickly and be very, very powerful. And even though you stun yourself, it doesn't matter because now we have her artifact. You're going to see that her artifact is an attack buffing artifact, very good for her. She has a lot of good attack modifiers. Also, you're going to see at the end of your turn, when you have a debuff, you'll get CR pushed by 30% and grant stealth for 2 turns, so you get CR pushed. And this is very good because she has that stun on herself. So you'll see actually in this animation, or I guess the preview for the skill, when she does stun herself, she'll get this stealth and also CR push on the left here very, very quickly because of this artifact. And the best part is, yes, she has a way to proc it very reliably on herself and on a very important turn, honestly, because she needs to be protected when she's stunned. But it also works on other debuffs, right? So if the enemy side has any random debuffs, if they debuff her, she gets CR pushed and she gets stealth, which is going to be very, very annoying to deal with. Honestly, this might be good in like certain metas where there's a lot of debuffs on the enemy side, but for her, it's going to be the best artifact for her by far, so you're definitely going to want to go for it if you pull for her. She is going to be a limited banner available on May 1st, so you will want to save your bookmarks for her. She looks like a pretty fun unit. I think she's going to be pretty strong. Whether she's like broken, like super overpowered, or just, you know, slightly strong, maybe even not that great, it's really going to be up to how people test her and feel about her, honestly. Very hard to say just looking at first glance because her kit is super unique, but I think she's going to be a very powerful character. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about her. I think she looks pretty funny. The animations look insane, right? I really like her S3 animation, if I can find it again. And I also really like the fact that she has like this self-stun and does a ton of damage, of course. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about her. I think she looks like a pretty strong character. And I'll see you guys next time.